And we're live.
DNVR Draft Pod. That's right, folks. Happy Thursday to you all. It's me and Schwan Man. Schwan Man, how are you doing?
Let's go. I'm great. How are you?
Doing good. Shout out to our guy, J Mike. A little under the weather today.
Yep.
We gave him the afternoon off.
Yep. Guy deserves it.
I'm sure he's grinding. And you're coming off, as our YouTube thumbnail would suggest, quite the draft matchup at Folsom. More impressed with Caleb or what Shedeur did?
Oh, man, don't make me pick. I mean, Shedeur's just ice cold, but at one point, Caleb had 6 touchdowns and 6 incompletions.
Yeah, the off-platform stuff Caleb was doing was mesmerizing.
Was it the second touchdown throw? The one to Taj Washington?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's an alien.
Absolutely. Just incredible. And Shedeur's poise keeps being so impressive, and his ability to just win from the pocket is so impressive.
And we saw him use his legs more, too, this last weekend. Guy he's the entire thing, the entire package.
Yeah, he really is. Will you let us know when you feel like things may have changed as far as whether he's staying in school or not? I feel like we've stayed about the same.
Yeah, he's coming back, I think.
But you'll inform us if there's a change.
I will.
In that regard.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'll let this podcast know first.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And you'll do that unprompted.
Of course.
Okay. Good. That's why he's my guy. Yeah, no. So getting into this one, we were thinking we really need a little recap of what we've seen so far this season.
Mm-hmm.
We're almost halfway.
Yep.
Week 6 in
Crazy.
the books.
It flies. It's not long enough, honestly.
It's insane.
It's
I
unfair.
remember when I used to feel like that about the NFL. Could not care less. Screw the NFL.
Yeah.
So what a stupid
Down
league.
with the NFL right now.
We're out, bro. We're out. But when it comes to college football, you're so right. There's just not enough.
It's the best. I don't know. I feel like college football, the product like on the field has been better than the NFL the last 3 or 4 years for sure. And this year it's just head and shoulders.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been incredible.
Yeah.
And there's so much parity this year in college. It really feels wide open. Now we're in 42 days of consecutive college football or NFL games being played every single day.
It's incredible.
It's just a magical time.
It really
It's such a great time. So
October's just undefeated.
Yeah, it's awesome. So we're getting into the fun topics.
Let's do it.
Let's start with biggest riser so far draft-wise.
I think I got to go with the guy I was telling you about before the show.
Yeah.
Luther Burden III,
Woo!
wide receiver out of Mizzou.
Is he eligible, man? Is he a sophomore or redshirt sophomore?
I hope he's eligible. That guy's a beast. But if he's not, then I got to go to the quarterbacks. Cam Ward, Michael Penix. I mean, Michael Penix is a tough one because he was kind of already in the round 1 conversation, but I think he's moved himself up into the top 10, maybe top 5 conversation.
His deep ball is insane.
He is the definition of deadly accuracy.
Yeah. His injury history, the Indiana stuff's going to be really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
How his eval comes through. I remember I'm in a Devy league where you can draft current college football players. And I traded up for Caleb Williams, so I didn't end up. But I was thinking if I was stuck where I was at, which was like the 14th pick, I was going to take a swing on Penix or Shedeur.
Mm-hmm.
The Shedeur's trickier because he was going to stay in school another year. And,
right.
And those guys have risen so drastically.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a huge win. J.J. McCarthy has been really good.
Yeah.
I don't know that they haven't played the competition to call him like a big riser yet. What Penix has done, insane.
Mm-hmm.
Shedeur was always speculative to where now he's being talked about. You know, Mel Kiper has in him top 5. I mean, he's in the mix to be the 3rd quarterback in this class. To do that so quickly, I think is really, really impressive. Cam Ward.
Yeah.
How do you see him as an NFL prospect? Like round projection, system QB? Is this DTR all over again? Is there more upside there? Like, tell the people who maybe haven't seen Wazoo as much this year.
Well, okay, so Cam Ward, first off, he trains with Shedeur's quarterback coach, Daryl Colbert at Select QB Athletics.
Yeah.
So they go back. They're friends. Like when we were at the Pac-12 Media Day, Washington State, more specifically, Cam Ward was one of Shedeur's biggest supporters,
Right.
biggest CU supporters. He said he thinks they're going to have a winning season. Anyways, but Cam Ward, last year takes the step up from Incarnate Ward to Washington State.
Yeah.
And he definitely flashed at times where...
First part of the season, actually, we were hyping him up on
Yes.
this pod, like, oh, watch out. Like, he's going to be a guy. Second half, things kind of fall apart.
Yeah, he had some iffy games. I mean, he does a lot of the Shedeur type things where it's kind of running to extend the play, like behind the line of scrimmage, you know what I mean? He had 23 touchdowns, 9 interceptions last year, but he has just gone up in every category. He's up to 75% completion, almost 10 yards per attempt, 13 touchdowns, no interceptions. Quarterback rating is way up. This is just a guy, I think, who really spent the last year or so getting adjusted to this faster, more wide open Pac-12, and now he's just running it like, I don't know, like we've seen Washington State quarterbacks do in the past, but I don't think this is like a Luke Falk, like an air raid quarterback, like...
Great comp. Great name.
What's the word? I don't know. One trick
Yeah, like
pony-ish?
a system quarterback.
Yeah, sure.
Or a guy who's really just like an animal who's only going to work out in college, basically.
Right.
Because then come the NFL, that's not how we played.
Right.
We don't run the air raid in the NFL, so it's going to
Yep.
be different. Those are great names. I mean, the quarterback play in the Pac has just been absolutely insane. Romo Dunze from Washington, the deep threat for Penix, has really stood out to me. Every time I see him, I have to like go back and check his stats. I mean, his size. I cannot believe the kid is 6'3", 217 and has that kind of deep speed, has that kind of punt return ability. He's incredible. Keon Coleman's similarly been impressive at Florida State. What a massive target.
Yep.
I don't think he's as consistent as Odunze, but like he's got some stuff to him. Xavier Legette, South Carolina wide receiver. He's another kid. He's like 6'2", 225.
Yeah.
Big wide receivers. Kind of a bit of a, like, you watch the 49ers, and what's so impressive is like anyone they're giving to the ball to, whether it's Debo's like 5'11", 215.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey, who's like, similarly sized. Like, all these guys have pretty good size. They're tough to bring down in the open field. We're seeing that influence where these bigger playmakers are really making a name for. I mean, Malik Neighbors is another guy.
I'll throw out Cooper DeJean as well, just last week.
Dude.
That's a guy who's really risen up.
Yeah, the Iowa defensive back.
Yep.
I mean, and he's shown incredible speed as a returner as well.
Just great athleticism.
Great
Also, Riley
name.
Leonard. That's another guy who's really risen up draft boards. And I'll throw out my guy, Audric
Massive
Estime, too.
Oh, yes.
Notre Dame running back.
Getting RB1 talk.
Yeah.
He's had a very impressive season so far. He's another playmaker, blazing speed. Then you look him up. He's like 217 pounds himself.
Yep.
Big boy. Honestly, man, we're going to end up talking a lot of offensive skill positions because
Let's go.
Malik Neighbors,
Yep.
LSU, really impressed. He's coming off a monster week. Xavier Worthy's been huge.
Yep.
But bigger than Xavier Worthy, the star wide receiver for Texas, Quinn Ewers is a huge riser this season as well.
Absolutely, man. I think Troy Franklin was kind of already in the conversation. He had a big game against CU a few weeks ago.
It's a great name to throw out.
But he's had another great year.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do Justin a solid here and throw out Torrey Horton as well. I think he's
having an insane season.
Solidified himself into at least the day 2, if not top 50, maybe even more conversation.
And I mean, maybe Dalton Holker, their tight end, has had an even bigger jump compared to where expectations were coming into the season. Lots of people buzzing about Howard Cross, the third, the defensive tackle for Notre Dame, who against Ohio State and Duke combined for 19 tackles, 12 pressures, 3.5 tackles for a loss, 2 forced fumbles, and a sack. Dallas Turner, we talked about last week.
Yep.
Edge rusher for Alabama. He's come along. I think that's 3. He's had like 5.5 tackles for a loss in the last 2 games.
I got you there.
So those are guys who have really stood out. Chris Jenkins on the defensive side, defensive tackle out of Michigan, has really started to pop as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chop Robinson, edge out of Penn State.
That's your guy.
Yeah, no. He's
5.5 sacks the last 3 games.
Okay, that's what
for,
it was.
Dallas Turner.
That's what it was. Yeah. He's coming along, man.
2 forced fumbles as well in that
coming
time.
along. Yeah.
Wow.
And he's so raw.
Yeah.
So him, Verse, and Chop Robinson are going to be a really fun group to study up on as far as the edge rushers in this class. And there's a ton of wide receivers, man. So many wide receivers.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a yearly thing now.
Yeah. No, it really is. Okay, brother. Heisman race.
Yeah.
I sent you this article with some updated Heisman odds.
Yep.
We, of course, can't bet on these in Colorado, so we just used some ESPN article from yesterday. Caleb Williams plus 200. That seems right. Penix plus 325.
Yep.
So a lot of this could come down to who you think is winning the Pac-12.
Sure.
Because if either of those guys take their squad to the Final Four, that's huge.
Yep.
Quinn Ewers is next at plus 750.
Right, and then Bo Nix.
Bo Nix plus 1,000. I wouldn't say he's had his Heisman moment yet, but has had an impressive win. Of course, him going against Penix in Seattle, was that next weekend? It's going to be massive.
Pulling up Washington's schedule now, yeah. So October 14th, and then they play the Trojans at USC November 4th. So they could play each other twice, Caleb and Penix, or Caleb and Bo.
Those head-to-head matchups, everyone's going to be
Bo
watching.
and Penix.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of attention. Keep going down. Sam Hartman, I think he missed the boat. Him and Estime with that Ohio State loss.
Yeah.
Jordan Travis could be.
He needs a big
laid
second
the
half.
groundwork.
Yes.
He needs the second. Look, I think he's intriguing, the Florida State quarterback. He's not nearly as decisive, accurate, or consistent on a play-by-play basis as like any of these other quarterbacks we're talking about week in, week out, man.
It's going to be fascinating to go back and watch that film and see how much of it is exactly the wide receivers and how much of it is the offense, how much of it is Jordan Travis.
Yeah, 100%. So who would your... And then Drew Allaire
Yep.
plus 4,000.
He's been balling too. I think he's got
And
no
Penn
interceptions.
State
Yeah.
is set up nicely.
Very nicely.
JJ McCarthy plus 1,600. Those are the guys to me.
Yeah, it's got to be a
If
quarterback.
you're looking for value, it has to be a quarterback. Forget looking at any other markets.
Yeah.
Travis maybe had a chance, but you missed 4 games. It's not happening.
Such a shame.
Yeah, terrible.
I think I'm going to go with Michael Penix, honestly.
I have him in the Final Four.
Yeah.
I love this Washington team.
I do too. I put a big bet on them over their win total as a 9.5 before the season. I was a believer last year. I mean, they had some tough. I think they lost to UCLA on like a Friday night game, and then they lost another tough game shortly. Or they lost a weird game to like ASU or something too. I think.
Right.
But look, with Caleb, like he's got the doubt of having won it last year. You know, so.
Dude, his stats are so much better. His highlights are better. He's playing for a much better team.
So
There's just voter fatigue, Jake.
I know.
There's voter fatigue. It's really hard to overcome that.
Yeah, but he is the best player in college
100%.
football. So, does USC's defense, you think, hold back his chances, though, of repeating?
No way.
You don't think so? You think it helps, if anything?
Yeah.
Because he's got to score.
Oh, 1,000%. I think it helps.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that defense has given him a bigger assist than Lincoln Riley or any of his wide receivers,
true.
frankly. No, it comes down to Heisman moments.
Yeah.
Last year, end of the year, Notre Dame, Utah, he has those Heisman moments.
Mm-hmm.
Will he have those against Washington, against Oregon, and against Utah and opponents like that. I'm not so sure.
I mean,
so much of this is going to go through like Penn State, Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, Michigan, Ohio State. And that's where JJ McCarthy, my preseason pick, I think is still like right there at plus 1,600.
well, yeah, they've got some massive games coming up
Yeah.
too. They haven't really played anyone, and that's what I was
Right.
going to say about Caleb too. I mean, not only do they have this Pac-12 slate, they've got Notre Dame next week as well. That's going to be a big one.
Huge.
They end the season in
that
November.
schedule's no joke.
No, it's Washington at Oregon, then UCLA, and then they're off on rivalry weekend. They play UCLA before that. I mean, college football is so weird. I feel like that bye week is kind of poorly timed, though, for his Heisman odds. It really
That's
is.
right. No, and when you end the season like that, I wasn't a believer in the preseason. I don't think USC's... They're not running the table on that, man. That's a tough schedule. They're going to lose some games. He's not going to have the juice. My biggest concern with J.J. McCarthy, you said only quarterbacks. Blake Corum's right there. That's
Man.
a great story, brother.
That's
he
my
goes
guy.
off. He runs for like 500 yards combined against, like end of the year, Penn State, Ohio State has some big games, and we all start to talk ourselves into like, man, he came back from an ACL and he did this.
Yeah. I mean, he's got
It's a story.
425 rushing yards and 9 touchdowns right now. Looks like he's catching the ball a little bit more than last year already. It's just got to be the big moments, though. Like, you need them to do what they did to Ohio State the last 2 years again. They're at home this year in that matchup as well. So, but then at the same time, it's like JJ is going to have a
Ohio
big
State's
stage.
soft.
Oh, Michigan's going to roll them again, I think.
For sure.
But I don't know. I mean, I think that's kind of what holds Caleb back a little, is because when he's off that last weekend, JJ and Blake are going against Ohio State for not just like the Big 12 or Big 10 basically semifinal game at that point. That could be a playoff game, like a de facto play-in game.
Yeah, it really is going to be. And I mean, both those teams could be undefeated. Both those teams might be in the playoffs already.
I mean, the SEC's down. I guess down in terms of Alabama, but like,
Oh, top contenders.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a lot. That's okay to say.
sure.
Okay, Final Four predictions. Who you got, man?
Oh, man. All right. Let me go.
We start Michigan easy. Neither of us is out on the Wolverines. We're in. That's the
Michigan-
one easy one.
They should be the number 1 team in the country, by the way. So shout out to all the
Yes.
AP voters who put them number 1 this week.
Yes, shout out to them.
So I'm going to go Georgia, or actually, I'm going to go Michigan in the 1 seed. Give me Georgia in the 2.
Wow.
I'm
Do
going
you
to go.
believe?
Yeah.
I think the dogs.
You don't think so?
I think the dogs are down.
You don't think they make the playoffs this year?
I don't.
Nah, they're gonna win the SEC. They're gonna still get it. They've got the SEC bias still. They're gonna get in. It may
They
not be
winning
2.
it? Are they winning it with 1 loss though? They almost lost to Auburn, man.
They didn't though. They didn't.
Yeah,
lose.
they did. They did. They do keep winning these close games.
It's championship DNA is what it is, honestly.
Wow, you went championship DNA on me. Okay.
I'm gonna go
Okay.
Texas and then Washington.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Thanks.
Well, you know what? The only one I disagree on is Georgia.
So who would you have?
Could we go SEC cannibalization?
No SEC in the playoff.
No
Could you
SEC
imagine?
in the playoffs?
Oh man, what a way to send out the 14 playoff.
And it be...
I'll tell you, I don't think Notre Dame's out of it yet.
I don't think Notre Dame's out of it. Alabama certainly not out of it. Mm-hmm. I don't think they've got the goods.
I think LSU's out after this last weekend.
The Big Ten could totally have 2 winners.
For sure. I mean, if Ohio State manages to play Michigan close in that last game in Ann Arbor, they wouldn't go to the Big Ten title game, though. Like, we got to stop this shit. You got to have conference title winners in the playoff.
That's true. Which we will in the 12 team.
Yes, of course.
You know, if you just did a jersey swap, I would believe in Georgia like no other if they were Penn State.
Really? You're that high on them?
Give me the Nittany Lions.
Wow.
Yeah. Give me the Nittany
And
Lions.
Michigan.
And Michigan.
So what if it's the Big Ten title game? Can that be the Big Ten title game? I don't even know if they're in the same division or not.
No, I don't think it can.
Let me see.
I don't
quick.
think it can. So I'm envisioning a one-loss Penn State sitting at home watching Michigan thump like Iowa or Wisconsin and then getting in as a 4 seed over like a 2-loss Georgia.
Right. Who else is in there? I mean, I guess I wouldn't count Oregon out at this point as well. They could be the Pac-12 dark horse just behind Washington and USC.
Any of those top 3 teams in the Pac-12 has a path.
Is Alabama out? If they run the table,
Oh.
so could they make it back in and
Oh,
potentially
yes.
play Texas again, you think?
Oh, yes.
Yeah? I think
Yeah,
LSU's out.
1000%.
Already said that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really it. Oklahoma, I don't know if I'm a big believer yet.
No.
They are playing a lot better this season, though.
They take care of the Red River rivalry. Everything comes into play again.
For sure.
Yeah. No, I think that's it.
FSU, we didn't mention them. Are we believers or not?
Actually, FSU is in play.
Okay.
I think there's a path to win the ACC with the schedule they've had and already having a win against LSU
Yeah.
to where you could make it in. Yeah.
All right. I'll say they're still in then. I don't know. They've just been I
They have fun
love
calling.
them offensively. They're just so like shaky, and I don't know if it's Travis or what it is.
They
So,
are shake. I agree completely, man. They're just
they don't look like a top
they
4 team to
hurt
me.
my confidence just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Game time, man.
Game time. Love them.
You'll be in Tempe
Yes, sir.
at the Arizona State game for the Buffs. And Game Time has you covered whether you're on the road, you're at home. Use that code DNVR when you sign up. You're going to get $20 off your first purchase. And that's with the Game Time guarantee where they, always get you the best prices. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. They've been awesome. Lots of some great football being played locally, and the Broncos.
yes.
So Game Time has you covered no matter what the occasion. And of course, you don't just have to go to games to use Game Time tickets, go to shows, what have you. It's always a great deal. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use that code DNVR for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. And again, create an account and redeem code DNVR for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
And shout out to our friends at FOCO, the leading manufacturer of sports and entertainment merchandise,
Tell them.
with a product line that includes apparel, accessories, toys, collectibles, novelty items, and more. I mean, they got all the cool stuff, guys. Bobbleheads, overalls, team overalls,
Oh, yeah.
team Hawaiian shirts. You can still rep your team on
You need,
vacation.
you're like, where would I find a Buffs bathing suit? Foco's
Yep.
got you covered. Yes.
Exactly. So all the stuff you didn't know you needed, FOCO has you covered. They have our back for Colorado sports, and they have yours too. Get the best gear around by using the link in our description. For all non-presale items, use the promo code DNVR, and you'll get 10% off of your order.
And, of course, the homies, Breck Brewery, always, always, always with us. And you by their side. Dude, you haven't even seen J-Mike brought us
Oh,
Mountain
my God.
Beach.
Where's mine?
What a king. It's upstairs waiting for you. It's got a sticky with your name on it.
No, I thought those was Yaya's.
No, Yaya got 2. We each got 1. That's,
All right, I feel a lot better
it's
now.
part of. Did you see how upset Jake was there that he might not have got a gift of Breck Brew?
And it's Mountain Beach Sour.
Your favorite.
It's always sour season. I don't care how cold it is outside.
I don't know what that says about you, honestly. I mean, aside from you like a good sour beer.
I just
I
like
think that's what it
a
says.
nice, light, crushable beer.
Look at that. Broncos country, of course, $6 at the DNVR bar now. Great way to enjoy your Sunday.
And Saturday.
You know, and they make them with 100% renewable energy. They're the best, man. Check them out on the beer locator at breckbrew.com to find a Breck beer near you. Yeah, we got to go upstairs and get you that.
All right.
When we're done. Okay.
I will not forget.
Big week amazing weeks. Like, how's college football doing without a real governing body?
Oh.
Just pumping out bangers.
Did you see the released Big Ten matchups for next year?
It's insane.
I cannot
sure.
wait.
The entire top 10's Big Ten schools. Mostly.
Yes.
It's wild.
You know what? We can talk about how conference realignment is a bad thing and all that, but I said it when it happened when we were talking Big 12 realignment on this show. As long as the matchups are good on Saturdays, I really don't care. I don't care.
That should be our gospel. That should be like the bets cover has like in Denver we trust written on it. Yeah. That should be our draft pod model.
As long as the matchups are good on Saturday, we do not care.
Right. Damn straight. And let's start with the Red River rivalry. Sark. Well, it's not at Oklahoma.
It's in Dallas.
Yeah, it's in
Cotton
Dallas. It's a classic. So neutral site. OU. How good is OU for real? And is Texas for real? Is Texas really back? All these guys in the trenches. Texas minus 6.5.
It's a well set line.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be honest, haven't gotten really too familiar with Oklahoma yet. I do know Dylan Gabriel is actually balling out a lot more, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't really like them last year. So
their left tackle's another draft riser. So Oklahoma's doing some Oklahoma things.
Yep. I think I'm going to take Oklahoma with the points. I think Texas wins, but the 6.5, that makes me nervous.
This actually does feel like a classic, like, watch it. Let it play out.
Yep.
Feel the vibes. Wait for Oklahoma to get some momentum and jump in on the Ewers train.
Yep.
I like that. I like that a lot. I'm kind of with you. Gun to my head on the spread. I probably do like the Sooners. I mean, it's one of those where I hate it, which means I like it.
Right.
But straight up money line, yeah, I think Texas. Texas is just way more talented.
I agree.
Texas might be one of the top 5 most talented teams in the country.
I think they got the better coach too. Honestly, I really like Sark.
Yeah, Venables is a clown. You're right about that. Okay, Talia at Ohio State, Talia, Maryland. 20-point underdogs at the shoe. I feel like I've done this before, but it's fine. I don't care. I'll be hurt again. I don't care.
You're gonna do it.
Yeah, I'd rather be an idiot twice than have conviction, go against myself, and be wrong knowing I was right all along.
Do you know how many times I put money on Maryland because you've convinced me otherwise, and then I watch the score and it's 42-0 in the first half?
They're playing good. This year they've been good, Jake. I'm telling you. And Roman Hemby is in that backfield as well. He's quite the running back.
All right.
They've got a little. And the thing is, I don't think Ohio State's that great.
That's exactly where I was going to go.
They actually have a ton of talent.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're a great team.
I don't think they're 20 points better than a lot of teams this year.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to take the Terps as well.
Also, when you're that talented, but you're kind of underperforming, sometimes playing at home is the worst case scenario.
I'm kind of out on Ryan Day.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a hot take. I think a lot of people are, but just seeing what CJ Stroud's been able to do at Houston.
Might be a cold take, you're saying?
Right. I mean, lukewarm, I guess, maybe.
Right. He does get a lot of hate for a guy who's literally lost 2 games in 3 years,
I know.
I think.
But, I mean, I don't know. It just didn't always look like it was rolling on all cylinders with CJ Stroud. He's out there balling in Houston now with one of the worst rosters in the league. I'm not a big McCord guy. I think he's just not that good, and now he's in this offense dealing with some of the same issues. They can't – if you're not getting Marvin Harrison the ball in these big games, that's a you problem.
Absolutely. I mean, to me, the biggest thing, and I said it on last week's pod, was like, shut up about Lou Holtz and run it up the A gap on 4th and 1, man. What are you doing running these jet sweeps? And this, I mean, it's what Lou Holtz said. It's what we've been saying for 3 years. Like, you can see the Urban Meyer imprint that was like, we're going to be bigger, faster, stronger, and just like line up and whoop your ass, change to like, we're more of an Art Briles perimeter team, and we're just going to like kill you with a million paper cuts and live on the perimeter, and like, we fly super fast, and sooner or later we'll start breaking those big gains, and you're fucked.
Yep.
Which, like, that's fine. That's modern football.
Sure. It's just not championship caliber.
It's not championship caliber. It's not how Michigan and Georgia play.
Exactly.
Which is a matchup issue for them.
Yep.
And it's like tough in the Midwest to play that way once you get to these November games.
Yep.
Give me
next?
the Terps. Give me the Terps. Give me the Terps. At the shoe scares me, but give me the Terps. LSU at Mizzou. Go Tigers.
Ooh.
5.5 point
A
favorites.
double go Tigers.
Tigers have so much talent.
Which ones?
Oh, sorry. Mizzou. Mizzou.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, I mean, they actually both very stacked teams. You like Luther, the wide receiver.
Yep.
I love their defensive line. They have some real dudes. They have this one freshman that's like, you know those freshmen who you just see them in a jersey and it's like, whoa, that's a freshman?
Omaria
Holy
Miller.
shit. Yeah, so Omaria Miller is a great example. They've got one of those kids on the defensive line. They've got another one who's going to be one of the top defensive tackles in the country. And it's at Mizzou, which is one of the, it's fun. Every conference with conference realignment kind of has their Utah.
Right.
Kind of has their West Virginia, where it's like, shit, we got to travel there this week. Fuck.
And that's Mizzou.
That's Mizzou in the SEC, and LSU's coming off a wacky one, man.
You can score on
wacky
LSU.
one. Yes, you can.
I'm taking Missouri.
Outright points? Home dog?
I might take that money line, yeah. By the way, I think we nailed that Kentucky money line. We absolutely nailed it, but I mean, that was not even close last week. That was easy money.
Yeah.
Easy money.
Well, and I did the thing where I let the book tell me what to do on Oregon State, Washington.
That's another great one. Yep.
Just like, yep, auto.
Yep. Who are you taking?
I hate Jaden Daniels, but I think he's significantly better than who Mizzou's sporting at quarterback.
I'm just taking the home team here. I think LSU can kind of get rattled.
Kind of feels like a week of upsets this week.
Yeah.
Feels like we've got some lined up. So I'm going to skip this game real quick and go to Kentucky at UGA. 14.5 for the Dogs. I think Kentucky takes care of business. They cover this easy. I might be sprinkling that money line.
Really?
Kentucky UDFA, I'm looking at you,
right.
man. I'm riding with your Cats this week. I believe.
I think I'm going to go Georgia. I think just let down after the win
Think they bounce
against
back?
Florida.
That's what you're thinking after South Carolina, though.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like Georgia's got another gear still.
I know they do defensively. I do know that. And shit, offensively, maybe it's just as easy as giving the ball to Brock Bowers.
Right.
Might be one of the Italian guys I follow. He does good draft analysis stuff. He was saying, hear me out. What if Brock Bowers is bigger Cooper Kupp?
Oh, wow. I like that.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah. I mean, look
He
at
might just be. I'm just all in on the Cats.
Well, look at what's happening with Kyle Pitts in Atlanta. They can't figure out how the hell to get him the ball, which is insane. I know a lot of that's on Ritter, but
yeah, they got to figure it out, man.
it's just easier in college to get these tight ends involved and get them in space for whatever reason. Maybe it's the hashes. I don't know. I'm going to take Georgia and the points here, or I'm going to swallow the points.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
Over 2 tuds.
Yep.
That half point to me is like a no-brainer.
How many times have we seen Georgia cover or like just blow a game open with a defensive touchdown, though?
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. I am waiting for the shoe to drop. I'm starting to worry myself because it feels like I'm one of the few who's ready to call Kirby and the guys out, and no one else is ready with it.
It's a slow decline, though, man. Look what's happening to Alabama. It's a slow, gradual decline.
Wazoo at UCLA. Have you seen this line?
No, I'm just about to look it up. Do you want to?
Don't look it up.
Okay.
Who? Guess the lines real quick. Who would you say is favorite?
It's in LA.
Yeah,
Wazoo -4.5.
absolutely. That's what you would think.
Oh no,
UCLA 3.5.
I'm taking the Bruins then.
Let the book tell you where to go.
Yeah.
It's that easy. It's that easy sometimes. What a great game this is going to be. Entertainment value after the Red River rivalry, probably the best one we've got on the slate. Watch Layatu Latu, the edge from UCLA. Watch Cam Ward.
Yep.
It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, man. I think this could. Dante Moore is very talented. All I heard all offseason was this guy is the guy in terms of this quarterback class coming in. Hasn't really shown it yet, but I think he's
Small
due.
flashes. Yeah. It like pops off his arm.
Yeah.
Bama at A&M tied only
Oh, my
2-point
God.
favorites.
Give me the Tide. I don't take A&M seriously.
I would too. And had A&M had their starting quarterback, who we were all hyping up before they got blown out by Miami, okay, I could buy that. Without him, I'm just like, they're going to grind them to a pulp, man.
Yeah.
They're going to... Like, Saban was born to grind out a game like this against Jimbo. And then let's close it out. Notre Dame at number 25, Louisville.
Ooh.
6 points for the Irish.
Louisville's looking good, too. I haven't watched them too much yet either.
I know.
but
I want to dig in more on the Cardinals.
I just think, again, it's like the third week in a row I've said this. Notre Dame's offensive line and ability to run the football, though, it stands out to me.
It does.
I think they're really sound defensively. Marcus Freeman's done a hell of a job, honestly.
Yeah.
Give me the Irish.
Quarterback Jake Plummer, intriguing for Louisville. But
Jack.
no.
Isn't it?
Jake or Jack?
Is there another Jack?
Oh,
a
shit.
Jake Plummer?
It's Jack. I'm sorry.
Okay. He was at Cal. He was Cal's starting quarterback last year. That's who CU beat.
Yeah, he's a statuesque guy. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. AP doesn't know what they're doing. They're getting smoked.
Yeah.
Irish by 1,000.
I'm with it.
Love this, man. This was fun.
Hell of a
This
lot
was
of fun.
I
love this show.
I miss J-Mike, but I love this
Yeah.
show. I love getting the picks out. It's great stuff. Thank you to producer Alyssa. And we'll be back next week, man.
Let's make it happen.
Have fun in Tempe.
Can't wait.
Okay. Later.
We all silly like the mayor.